Good morning. Bill, thank you for the introduction. Shelley, thank you for all the work that you are doing to build this party structure here in Brunswick County. Who's happy to be here this morning? Any of you guys here back when we did our kickoff tour a few months ago?
Yes.
All right, good. Brunswick County, 10 a.m., it doesn't matter, y'all will show up. And I am so grateful for it. And I know exactly why you did it. But I'm going to ask you anyway. How many of you, like me, love North Carolina? Are we not blessed to be from this place? Home to friendly and good people. Always ready to greet you with a warm smile or a kind word. Home to remarkable natural beauty, from these beaches to those mountains and everywhere in between. Home to some of the finest educational institutions in the world, including the nation's first public university, the nation's first land-grant university. Home to more HBCU students and professionally certified teachers than any state in this country. Home to NC Pre-K and Smart Start. We were the first southern state to have universal kindergarten. We have so much to be proud of. Home to small businesses like this one and Fortune 500 companies. Heck, we are home to the best basketball and barbecue in America. I grew up in Charlotte and in Chapel Hill. My wife Anna grew up in Greenville and Winston, and we raised our 3 kids in Raleigh. They all went to North Carolina public schools, just like Anna and I did. North Carolina is home. And we pray that our kids and grandkids and your kids and grandkids also want to call North Carolina home. I am running for governor because I love our home state. And I believe in the promise of North Carolina, that if you work hard, where you come from should never limit how far you can go. That our kids and grandkids should have a better and brighter future than we've had. That every North Carolinian has a fair shot at prosperity, getting a good paying job or starting a small business everywhere in North Carolina, including small town North Carolina, including Leland, North Carolina. To keep the economy growing and make sure that it works for all people. We have to tackle the high cost of living, especially housing. Raise the minimum wage. Hasn't been increased in 16 years, $7.25. We got to cut taxes for working families. In March, we rolled out our working families tax cut, put more money into the pockets of working people, lift children out of poverty, and stimulate local economies. And we've just rolled out our Ready, Set, Save initiative to reinstitute the tax-free weekend right before school starts for families. Give teachers a $300 stipend so they can help upfit their classrooms. And make sure that every kid in our public schools gets breakfast and lunch so they have a full belly without a because kids don't learn when they're hungry. And we want every child to have a good education from early childhood pre-K through community college and university. We have to expand career and technical education and apprenticeship programs because while college is right for many people, it is not right for every person. And someone should not have to go to college to provide for his or her family. And we must support our educators. It is long past time teachers got a real pay raise in North Carolina. Are there any teachers or retired parent teachers in the room? Stand up. We thank you. Every North Carolinian should be able to get good health care no matter where they live or how much money they earn. It took a decade of hard work by thousands and thousands of people, including our Governor Roy Cooper, in December last year, we expanded Medicaid in North Carolina. And do y'all know that already a half a million of our neighbors have health insurance today who did not in December? So that when they get sick, they can go to the doctor instead of going into bankruptcy. We have to build on Medicaid expansion. And because access to health care includes access to reproductive health care, I want you all to know that as your governor, I will veto any further restrictions on women's reproductive freedom. It's not complicated. It's about putting people first and fighting for them. And that's what I have been doing these past nearly 8 years as your Attorney General. Fighting for the people of North Carolina and delivering. Fighting for families and communities devastated by the opioid epidemic. I have sat with parents all across this state who've lost their children to this disease of addiction, and it absolutely breaks your heart. We led the national bipartisan coalition of state attorneys general to take the opioid drug manufacturers to court, and we are winning to the tune of nearly $50 billion. Fighting for survivors of sexual assault. There were thousands and thousands and thousands of untested rape kits just sitting on the shelves of local law enforcement agencies, more than in any state in this country. Each of those thousands and thousands and thousands of kits came from a single person, and every one of them deserves justice. As of April this year, we have fully eliminated that backlog. So we are now solving cold cases. We're putting dangerous people behind bars, more than 114 arrests today, and making our communities safer. It's about fighting for women's right to choose and everyone's right to vote. Doing this work for me, it's a blessing. My faith teaches me that we are each called to do our part and to make a difference. My folks raised my brother, sister, and me to try to do what was right, just like they did. They moved us to Charlotte. I'd just been born, so that my dad, Adam, could join Julius Chambers and James Ferguson 1967 to form North Carolina's first integrated law firm. And they won path-breaking victories in our nation's legal struggle against discrimination and for equality. And they never backed down from doing what was right, not even when someone firebombed their office and burned it to the ground. They and so many other heroes across this state teach us that some things are worth fighting for no matter how tough it is. And in North Carolina, too many things today are tough. But we know that the people of North Carolina are always worth fighting for. Our freedoms are always worth fighting for. And our freedoms are on the line this November. The stakes could not be higher, and the choice couldn't be clearer. Two competing visions. Ours is forward-looking, positive, welcoming. It is about fighting for people. It's about creating opportunity for people. It's about tapping every person's potential so that together we build a safer and stronger state. The vision of my opponent in this race, Mark Robinson, is one of division, violence, and hate. It's about fighting job-killing culture wars. He says the most awful things about people, human beings. Calls public school teachers wicked and demons. He says women are not called to lead. I don't think he knows Kamala Harris. He says gay people are filth and even worse insults than that. He called the civil rights movement crap. And just a few weeks ago, from of all places, a church pulpit, he said some folks need killing. But it is not just what he says, it's what he would do. He wants to slash public school funding. That's his verb, not mine. Make it harder for people to vote and completely ban abortion in the state without exception. He is a conspiracy theorist. He denies the 2020 election results. He denies the climate crisis. He denies the Holocaust. Friends, we must deny him the governorship of North Carolina. And we can, but it will be tough. Elections in North Carolina are always close. Do you know how I know? 5.5 million votes in 2020. We won by 12,300 votes. That is 3 to 4 votes per precinct. That's the difference between winning and losing, but that means that we have power. The power to determine who wins and who loses. The power to shape the future of North Carolina and this country. Voters in other states hunger for the kind of power we have here in North Carolina. To possess it is a privilege. It is also a responsibility. We must use it. And we have now fewer than 11 weeks to do it. You got to talk to your friends and neighbors. You need to get yourself out of your comfort zone. Talk to somebody who you think you're not sure where they are. And have that conversation. Say, this is what I believe. This is how I think your child and my child will have a better and brighter future in this state. You need to post on social media. You need to support candidates financially when you can, and you must vote. And make sure that all of your people vote come November 5th. Because as someone says, when we vote, when we work, we win. And when we vote, we win. So let's break the supermajority. Let's put more good people on the Council of State. Let's defend this governorship and defeat Mark Robinson, and let's put Kamala Harris in the White House. Thank you all.